thing. Like it's the same advice I give to young bassists when they ask me for tips and like, how do I lower my voice? And I'm like, well, your natural chest range really is pretty set. You can do a lot to strengthen those notes and you can fill them out, and they'll likely fill out as you mature. But you're not just going to gain a fifth, on the bottom. Whereas the top, you have a lot of room to grow and extend your upper range and figure out how to sing through the passaggi and stuff like that. But the low end really is kind of, it kind of is what it is.
Yeah. And I found that out even in recent times, having to kind of do that, learn how to navigate that glissando up to a high E, and just, but also I have to be careful. I guess any singer can say this, would say this. If you work that top two, a lot, you can lose some stuff on the bottom.
Yeah.
And
I find that depending on the role I'm singing, sometimes I'll have a role that sits more towards like the baritone side of like bass baritone, because I have those notes. Like I'm pretty in an operatic setting. I'm pretty solid through like a high G.
Yeah.
And so I can out. Yeah. So I can sing the stuff like Escamillo or like the Don Giovanni, which traditionally can be sung by baritone or a bass if they have high notes. And I'll find after a role that sits really high, like if I've been singing that for like a month or so, and if I haven't specifically been like working on the low stuff during like warm-ups and practice sessions, I'll lose a little bit of the power and comfort down there.
Yeah, that one, you probably found it. That piece by Benedict Sheehan, Song of Simeon.
Yeah.
That he wrote for me.
Yeah.
And when he sent me the score, I was like,
oh, he wrote that for you. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he wrote that for me. Yeah.
Awesome.
And when Oxford published it, they made him have two versions of that piece. One in a key that the rest of the world can do.
Yeah. Well, that goes down to what, A
F.
flat or F?
F is an F, and that really is scraping the barrel, I think. And it's kind of a gimmick thing, a little bit. I don't, I kind of just said that. You can erase that, But Benedict knows I've got it pretty much. But still, it was hard. Vowels down there.
Yeah.
It kind of how if it's a more open vowel, it's more of a challenge to do. I found, and the way you approach it too, of course, and you can say that about it.
You definitely find once you get closer to the extremes, you got to be. It's like an exponential curve as far as kind of how like careful you have to be navigating it in terms of to like maximize efficiency and resonance and all this stuff. So for your voice, like if you go, let's say you did a scale down from like a C. Or let's say a B down to an E, like low B down to really low E. Like, what are you thinking about vocally as you go down that scale? You think like lengthen the vocal tract, or just make sure you stay relaxed, keep the larynx really low, or what?
I do all that, but I also think I keep my brain up here, my feeling of placement up here.
Help the buzz, keep the buzz in the sound.
Yeah. Well, I'm very much aware of the buzz.
Yeah,
but also if I get too it's like you're digging yourself into a hole and you can't get back out of it. On the ascent back up. I've really found that in the Chesnokov piece I do, which has the low G at the end.
Yeah.
And to get back up out of that to that C. If you're pressing down on the G tube, you get caught. So I just kind of keep my placement, my brain up there, and just have that low note just kind of be suspended from that note. If that makes sense.
Well, it's amazing you can keep something that low in the same vocal line, because like. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe like an Eric Holloway might be able to do something like that. But, any bass that normally would even be able to get down to a low G, that would be like the absolute bottom, where it's like you're recruiting probably muscles you shouldn't to get down there.
Right.
But for you, it's more just like you just kind of dip down there and then come back up. Yeah. That's a voice you need to sing that piece too.
Right. You know, I find also about a lot of it is about the sense of line musically, you know, and that is, you know, oftentimes singing those low notes is kind of I can sing these low notes, you know, and they kind of do the press thing. And